everyone. I hope you're all doing well given the current circumstances. I know it's been a while since I last made a YouTube video, but I'm back to briefly talk about the levels of anxiety and panic and fear that so many of us are currently experiencing due to the coronavirus pandemic situation. I've noticed that there have been quite a few posts shared on social media about people being unable to breathe, mainly at night time when they're about to go to bed, and when they do finally fall asleep, their sleep is frequently being disrupted by shortness of breath. They're having nightmares, which then result in them waking up with things like the sweats, racing heart, choking, trembling, even feeling dizziness. I've also read quite a few comments where people are calling those who are sharing their experiences because, they're looking for support. They're looking for a diagnosis of their symptoms, but they're being called liars. So I just wanted to speak out about what I went through about 2 weeks ago, and I hope that I can help people by talking about what I did when I realised that I was actually having anxiety attacks because of the fear I felt from the coronavirus. And I also hope that I can provide some type of guidance for those who need it. So about 2 weeks ago, I noticed that during my sleep, I was struggling for breath. And I figured that it was probably down to my sinuses because I have allergy issues. So I just took some tablets and I got on with it. And as the nights went on, everything became worse. And I could actually feel my airway closing up. And, there were moments where I just couldn't gasp for breath. I couldn't breathe through my nose either. And I can't exactly fully explain it because I was asleep. But each time that it happened, I was literally having to wake myself up, even out of dreams. And sometimes I was waking myself up by the noises my body was making when it was happening. And it became so severe that I became afraid to fall asleep because I honestly thought that I wouldn't wake up the next day. And I suspected that I had sleep apnea. So I called my doctor and I was adamant that that was what was wrong with me. I said to her, I've got sleep apnea, I need help now. And, my doctor, she's an amazing woman. She knows me very well. So the first thing she questioned were my sinuses, and she prescribed me better allergy tablets than the ones that I'd bought. They did help my nose, but unfortunately I was still experiencing having those breathing problems at nighttime where I just couldn't catch my breath. So I booked another telephone consultation with my doctor, and this time she questioned my calmness. And I told her, I am completely fine because I felt like I was. I said to her, the only problem that I have now is that I have sleep apnea. So she said to me, okay, look, let's try a steroid spray for your nose instead. And if that doesn't work, then, I promise we will take the next steps. So I took the spray, and unfortunately the symptoms still didn't go away. So the next thing I did before booking another appointment with my doctor is I prayed. I prayed to God to remove whatever was wrong with me. And it was as if a light bulb went off in my head that said, you have been having anxiety attacks. So the next thing I did after that was Google all my symptoms and compare them to anxiety attacks during your sleep. And then I realized that there was indeed a very high chance of me having anxiety. So I sat down and gathered my thoughts, and I said to myself, what could be worrying me so much? And then I thought, it's got to be the coronavirus. So I prayed to God again, and I asked him to give me peace and strength to get through it. And I decided that day not to watch the news. I didn't, keep an eye on the death toll, and I didn't acknowledge anything to do with COVID-19. Now, when the nighttime came again, I spoke to God, and then I used my Calm app, and I listened to bedtime stories, I listened to music, and that night, I'm happy to say that I slept like a baby, completely uninterrupted. And I repeated those actions every day, and I added on a few more things, and thankfully, I haven't experienced another scary night of feeling like I couldn't breathe. So, I know that right now the whole world is very afraid at this stage, and we all react differently to crisis situations. Our bodies' responses to the sudden changes that have just taken place are bound to come out in lots of various ways. The virus is just caused, so many of us, or all of us, to feel like we are in immediate, immense danger, which we all are. And that is going to create stress inside of us all. So I just wanted to share a few things that I did that could hopefully also help you to minimize the chances of having an anxiety or panic attack as a side effect of the worry from the coronavirus pandemic. So one of the things that I'd say you definitely need to do is to identify your fears. What do you find most scary about the situation? Are you worried about your family, your job, how your rent or bills will be paid? Are you terrified about going outside, or is it everything I've just mentioned and more? Now, when you become aware of what your fears are, bring them to the surface and do not keep them suppressed in darkness. You need to find out the facts of how to protect yourself and how to protect those you love from the virus. And then you can deal with, that fear from a much higher perspective, and you can begin to realize that some of the things that you're actually thinking might just be a bit illogical, and then you can eradicate it once you have more information and knowledge on the situation and don't believe everything you think, basically. Another thing I'd say to do is to practice self-positivity. Talk to yourself or talk to God in a positive way and tell yourself, I shall not experience another anxiety or panic attack today. Pray if you're religious. Ask God to take it all away. And it's important that you're honest with your feelings. It's okay to tell yourself, I am scared, but I believe that I'm going to be okay. I shall be okay. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, and make sure that you keep your lines of communications open with everybody, because it feels so much better when you're able to get things off your chest about how you're really feeling. Another thing I'd say to do is to stimulate your mind with distractions by watching inspiring movies, watching comedies that will make you laugh, listen to your favourite music and sing along with it, play with your children if you're a parent, read a book, take an online class. There are so many free workshops at the moment. Paint something. Discover amazing facts. This list could literally go on and on, to be honest. One more thing I'd say to do is to practice breathing exercises. When I thought I had sleep apnea, I came onto YouTube and I discovered some really great videos by Dr. Adam Fields, who is a chiropractor in San Jose. And he really, helped me because when I started watching his videos that night, I only had one panic attack compared to the several that I was experiencing in a night before I practiced his exercises. So, deep breathing before bedtime definitely makes a huge difference. And I think that learning those skills is definitely an important coping technique. So, just something as simple as taking a long, slow, deep breath through your nose and holding it to the count of 3, then exhaling slowly through your mouth, making sure your face is relaxed, it will make a difference, because breathing is most definitely the key to relaxation. Another thing you could do is use lavender for your anxiety, especially before bedtime. Squirt a few drops of oil onto your pillow or rub a small amount onto your wrist or on the back of your hand and inhale it. You can also buy little lavender bags and place them inside of your pillowcase. Another thing I did was, download the Calm app. That will help you to reduce stress and anxiety, all with the help of their guided meditations, soothing music, and bedtime stories. It really is great. You could repeat a mantra. It can be anything from "this too shall pass," or it could be a religious or a spiritual saying. Practice muscle relaxation techniques, because your muscles become quite tense when you experience anxiety or panic attacks, and practicing muscle relaxation will definitely help to limit that. Another, a good form of muscle relaxation is yoga, and most of the techniques can be done on your own with the aid of YouTube videos or free apps and audios even. What else did I do? I avoided drinking coffee, and if you drink alcohol, avoid that too, because caffeinated drinks will increase your heart rate. The last thing I'd say to do is to talk to your doctor. Right now, doctors are taking telephone consultations at the moment because of the outbreak, and some doctors are in self-isolation, but that will not stop you from being able to pick up your prescription or to get any helpful information. So it's really important that we all take care of our mental health right now during this outbreak, because it is absolutely scary. However, there are many things we can do to feel better and to manage our well-being. So please keep safe, please stay well, and take care. Thanks for watching.